I want to welcome everybody to Willows at Symphony Hall. As MC, I learned early on, you do not want to take too long and stand in front of people who have to eat and see something spectacular. And what you're about to see today is breathtaking, at least. For those who know me, know that I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers diehard. I had nothing to do with the colors of this facility. But I thank you, Bruce and Ingerman, for picking those nice Steeler colors. It felt like yesterday we were standing here on an empty lot with dirt. Had to pull your pants up to walk across for the press conference to start this thing. And it was almost literally yesterday, it felt like, because through the efforts of Ingerman and BCM, this thing was done pretty quickly. Bruce, how long was this project?
13 months.
13 months. That's like yesterday in the world of construction. But it's sturdy. You can lean on it all you want. Projects like this can't happen without a lot of support. So I want to first thank all of our visitors. We have HUD in the house. We have the county, the city. Obviously, you're going to hear from our great mayor. We're going to also hear from Julio Colon, who's the director of the Economic and Housing Development for the city, and our partner, Bruce Morgan from BCM, who is, in my mind, the champion, the dreamer of a project like this. In the world that we live in, as you know, there's a lot of change. Change is usually good. This area clearly was changed for the better. If you could think about this place, oh no, take your time, take your time. No, take your time. We're flexible here. You think about this place, say 16, 18 months ago, you would never imagine something this beautiful would be put here. But thanks to some dreamers and visionaries like Bruce and Ingerman, it became a reality. You're going to hear a lot about the project from some of the others, the benefits to the community from some of the others. I just want to share that as a YMCA, we're proud to be partnering with everybody involved, the city, Bruce and Ingerman, because what we do is we service the community, and we find ways, unique ways like this, to help those who are less fortunate. And because of a project like this, we get to do it in a very state-of-the-art, artsy community in the bustling redevelopment, revitalization of downtown Newark. And I would like to say thanks to Bruce and his team, we're proud to be your partners in making this happen. So with that, I'd like to bring up our great mayor to bring us some remarks. And then we'll bring up Julio and Bruce, and then we can see this lovely place. So thank you. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Michael. This is a great day in the city of Newark. This is a beautiful building. By far, I've been to a lot of ribbon cuttings. This is probably one of the better looking buildings that we have erected. I want to thank Ingerman and the YMCA and HUD and, Newark Economic Development Department and all the folks that participated in making this happen. What makes this even better is that these are affordable units. These are affordable units, and it, not only the affordability is important, but it also reaches a segment of our population that, we have trouble with sometimes. The homeless population, folks that are disabled, mental illness, all of those issues are incredibly important for a city like Newark, particularly when the federal government is saying that they're going to cut away from programs like this, housing that reaches this group, and you have a person in charge who says that people who live in affordable housing shouldn't have nice places. So let's hope he doesn't come here. Because we'd all be in trouble that we built this. We can pretend it's market rate for him, but this is an incredible a thing today, and I'm just proud to be a part of it, and whatever hand that we played in Newark to make sure that this went up. This is great, and we're excited about the prospects of this building and this community. A growing community in this area, this Lincoln Park Symphony Hall district is growing in the city of Newark. It's going to be an incredible neighborhood, and I'm glad that we have this addition to this property here today. So thank you again to all of the people who made this happen today, and congratulations for those who are going to live in this beautiful property.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. And I will echo it, and I'm sure it'll be said more than once. This would not be possible without you and the city's support. At this time, I'd like to call up Julio Colon, Director of Economic and Housing Development.
That's wishful thinking. Director of Housing and Real Estate. So just to clarify that for the record, I'm here on behalf of our Deputy Mayor, Baye Adolfo Wilson, who could not make it. He had some meetings that he had to take care of. But for us, these 60 units do continue with our mission here in the city to create affordable housing and to, at the same time, integrate it with special needs housing. And I think that that's a critical part of the kind of development that we're undertaking in the city of Newark. I want to thank HUD for their support and moving forward with this project. This project is 5 years in the making, 4 or 5 years in the making. Correct, Bruce?
Yes.
Yep. So that to see that you got it up in 13 months, it's pretty. You were pretty anxious then, I guess, after that period. But again, just to reiterate what the mayor said, this particular area, the Lincoln Park area, is an area that we have focused a lot of our resources in. And there are a few more projects that we're looking to develop in this area to kind of complete this community. But to know that we have a development like this, I'm a former contractor developer as well. And I always say that you don't need to build affordable housing to look like affordable housing. You can make it look like market rate housing. And we need to shy away because to a great extent, what happens there is that contractors tend to kind of like cut corners sometimes, or developers, and to know that they actually take pride in their work and going ahead and saying, we don't need to make that big profit margin, and we'll go ahead and create the kind of housing that makes the area beautiful and the city as well, enhances the city. So on behalf of the city of Newark and the mayor, Ras Baraka, I thank you all for being here today and look forward to the tour.
Before we get on to the ribbon cutting and tour, there's one other person I would like to bring up and say a few words. And I think I said earlier, and he was the dreamer, the person who made this really become a reality. Bruce and I met through my director of housing, Mabel Elmore, who unfortunately cannot be here today. She spearheads all of our housing efforts, and her and Bruce had a chance to meet and talk about the dream of what this place could look like. And if anyone knows Mabel on my team, she came to me with the thought and the plan. I didn't have too much to say about it because no was not an option. So I met Bruce through Mabel, and from that point on, we hit it off. And I think Bruce could probably tell, he's probably been 5 years, 4 months, 3 days, and so many hours to get here. Bruce is that kind of guy. So I want to bring up Bruce for a few words before we move on to the next segment. Bruce?
Anthony Marcello, he wants to say a few words. He was on there. He's the executive. He's the executive. Good morning. I'm so happy to be here today, standing before you, opening a property that I worked tirelessly on for 5 years. As some of you know, Symphony Hall came about through my relationship with Tony Gibbons at Crawford Street Partners, who brought up the idea that we should develop our next Newark property on a parcel that he and his partner Steve owned across the street from the Great Oaks Charter School, on what was a dumpy, unpaved, polluted parking lot. But you got to have some vision. Seemed like a good idea at the time, except for the minor detail that we couldn't get an allocation of tax credits. We lost our home funds from the city, and my partner, the Actors Fund, pulled out of everything that wasn't in Manhattan. So 3 years ago, we wrote this entire project off, throwing away hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just when it was about to get really depressing, Jen Carrillo Perez, my attorney, called and introduced me to Mabel Elmore at the Newark YMCA. All of a sudden, the sun came out, birds started chirping, and the project miraculously got back on track. See, Mabel had the golden ticket. She had rental vouchers that I couldn't get anywhere else for my special needs residents. Rental subsidy in a world of affordable housing are like gold. And Mabel was my golden savior. Without her rental vouchers, we wouldn't have been able to get our tax credits. Then Julio and Baye, all of a sudden, through some gyrations, got us our home money back. Well, at the end of the day, and I mean 5 years, I stand before you to open Symphony Hall, our newest building in Lincoln Park, which has a preference for those folks who work or participate in the artistic community. A great group of creative people who live in Lincoln Park and want to remain living in a great building in Lincoln Park. Now, as much as I gave of myself to get this building ready for our future residents, there's no way I could have gotten to this point without the help and support of a whole host of folks. And the foremost on that list is my wife, Cynthia. Cynthia's put up with all of my ups and downs, and while I was hopelessly optimistic about all my projects, she was my support system, and there was no way I could have gotten to this point without her. Thank you. Mabel, unfortunately, is out on disability, and she couldn't be here, but between Mabel and Michael and their great group of people at the Newark YMCA, I have the best partner I could have ever asked for. Not only did they come up with the vouchers, they never say no, but rather solve what seems to be insurmountable problems as if it were simply another day at the office. Thank you, guys. Jennifer Carrillo-Perez, which I haven't seen here, I don't know whether she's here or not, always has my back. Things in Newark tend not to progress in a straight line from start to finish, but Jen is always there to take my calls, lots of calls, lend a reassuring ear, find that missing document, get that approval, and find ways to have funds committed. Jen, you truly make things happen. The folks in City Hall, Mayor Baraka, Councilwoman Cheneyfield, Baye Wilson, Phil Scott, and Julio Colon. As a matter of fact, I probably called Julio regarding the home funds 100 times. Julio, I would say, this is your favorite pain in the derriere. Julio would say, hi, Bruce. I didn't have to say my name. He knew who it was. Once again, no one ever said it was going to be easy, but thank you for financing and your ongoing support of this project. I am forever indebted to each and every one of you. The NJHMFA, they gave us our tax credits, and Wells Fargo invested in our ideas. Thank you both for believing in our vision. Ingerman Construction Company, there's a great group of guys who build great buildings like Symphony Hall and never, ever get enough credit. But without Anthony, Nolan, Joe, and the entire team working tirelessly on all of the details, we would have never gotten to this point. The team at Haley Donovan Architects bring fresh ideas to life in really cool looking buildings, which you will see in a moment. Matrix Engineering. Mark Cifelli is the guy that is immersed in all the details, and nothing ever slips through the cracks. Thank you all. Ingerman has a great group of bright, dedicated people that work in Collingswood, but rarely get out of the office. But without their work on critical issues related to financing and legal structuring, all of our projects, we could never get to a grand opening. And that group includes Brad Ingerman, Natalie DiFilippo, Ronnie Mitra, and Aaron Walzer. Thank you all. Going forward, Ingerman Management Company is taking control of the building, and I have full faith that Carla and her team are going to do a great job managing this building for the next 100 years. Finally, I wanted to thank Stephanie Eves, who has worked tirelessly behind the scenes to pull the details of today together and make today very special. Thank you. Let's open this building and bring Symphony Hall to Newark and the residents of Lincoln Park. Thank you all.
I have an additional speaker to come up. Could Anthony Marquetta, there you go. Marquetta, would you please come up?
Surely. I made it. I had a conflict this morning, but I wanted to be here. And surprisingly, Mayor, I have to give you commendation. This started on time. It's rarely the case that it starts on time. But I'm Tony Marquette. I'm the Executive Director of the Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency, and we provided a large part of the financing associated with this project. And in fact, I did a little number crunching this morning, and since we came into office in 2010, we funded 50 projects, more than 50 projects, more on the way, here in the city of Newark. And if you go outside, just look around. You'll see 60 Nevada. The mayor and I were there for that, ribbon cutting. You'll see 999 Broad Street. You'll see that. Those are financed with the agency. And this evening, there's going to be a major celebration of New Jersey Smart Growth Awards at the Hain Building, which also was financed by the HMFA. Altogether, over that 7-year plus period, we've done over 50 projects exceeding $1 billion worth of work. That's B, billion with a B. By far and away, Newark is up front and center on financing with the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency. But we couldn't do it without the likes of Bruce and Julio, Adolfo. I look forward to meeting you, Mike. And of course, HUD as our partner in many of these projects, Anne-Marie. So I just want to congratulate you all for another wonderful project. It is absolutely beautiful. And this administration is changing the face of the city of Newark, and it's all good. I want to congratulate you all. Congratulations again.
As I bring closure to this portion of today's program, Stephanie might want to get ready for the ribbon cutting portion. I do want to say, and you saw her sneak in, you heard the name Mabel Elmore a few times, and even though she's out on leave, this is a personal visit, not a work-related visit. But I'm so happy she's here. Mabel, I know you may not be able to, but could you just please stand for a second so people could just recognize your efforts? I stand before you as a product of what I would say incredible staff support. I can't be here today without people like Mabel, but also we have a lot of support staff here as well. If the YMCA staff can just please stand for a few moments and be recognized for all your hard work. Thank you. At this point, we need to do the ribbon cutting. Is Stephanie available? Oh, Gail. You stopped it. Would you like to come up and say a few words, please, Councilwoman? We're in your district, so
yes.
Thanks
Central
to you.
Ward, mighty Central Ward.
Thanks
I'm
to
sorry.
you.
I apologize, Mayor. I'm sorry, Mayor. I was over there just dealing with my council colleagues, so that's enough to get your tongue tied in a moment. I'm just proud to be here to see the city of Newark doing what it's supposed to do, celebrating and changing the future for a lot of people. When people say, is gentrification happening in the city of Newark, this is proof positive that it's not. Because this is just redoing something that was not here before, or years ago there was structures here, but repurposing it and making Newark look better and giving people opportunity to stay here in the city of Newark, be here in the city of Newark, and live in the city of Newark, and creating partnerships. Mabel turned around and reminded me that I was the one who introduced you guys to Bruce. So I was like, okay, and glad to see you, Mabel. I didn't realize you were sidelined. I didn't think anything could sideline you. But it's a pleasure to be here and an honor. And Mayor Baraka, we're going to be doing many more of these throughout the Central Ward. And we're just looking for the city to continue to grow. And everyone enjoy your new place. Thank you.
All right, so we're prepared for the ribbon cutting. So as Stephanie takes and strings us across, if we can get all the principals up here to take this momentous occasion and kick this thing off right, then we can